Hello, I'm David. Welcome to our channel.
Hello, I'm Sophia too. I'm happy to be here again to entertain you.
So today, we're diving deep into something pretty special in the horror world, a film that feels like it's 14 years too late.
But also, maybe, somehow, right on time.
Exactly. We are talking about Final Destination, Bloodlines. It's the sixth one in the series.
And that gap is huge. 14 years since Final Destination 5 back in 2011. That really built up some serious anticipation.
For sure. A ton of expectation.
And that expectation matters, because the movie isn't just like another sequel. It's focused on this college student who keeps having this awful recurring nightmare, really violent stuff.
Okay, familiar territory so far.
Well, yes and no, because she doesn't just have to save herself. She has to race back home to find this one specific person
Right.
who apparently holds the key to saving her entire family from what seems like an absolutely unavoidable, horrific fate.
Okay, so that's the twist.
Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. And our mission here, I think, is to figure out why, after all this time, this new approach seems to be landing so well, why people are calling it successful and even satisfying.
Okay, let's get into it. We kind of have to start with the legacy, right? Because Final Destination, it's got this weirdly unique spot in horror history.
How do you mean?
Well, like, you have your absolute masterpieces, your Halloween from Carpenter, untouchable, right? But if you're talking about consistent quality across a whole franchise...
Okay. I see where you're going.
I mean, it's basically Scream and Final Destination. Those are the two where almost every movie is pretty darn good.
That's actually a really fair point. Most horror franchises, they hit movie 3 or 4 and just nosedive.
Oh, yeah. Think about Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street later entries.
Exactly. But with FD, people genuinely seem to like most of them.
Yeah, except maybe number 4. That one felt off. A bit of a detour, maybe.
Agreed. Number 4 was definitely the weak link. But think about Final Destination 5 in 2011.
Oh, man, that ending.
Right. So clever, so satisfying. It felt like such a perfect way to wrap things up, like a real punctuation mark, as you said.
It really did. And maybe that's why the 14-year silence didn't feel wrong. It was kind of bittersweet.
Yeah, you felt like, okay, they ended on a high note. Maybe they'll actually leave it there, which, studios almost never do after it hits.
Oh, true. They usually milk it dry.
So that long wait just makes Bloodlines feel even more significant. And the buzz, even before everyone's seen it, is just awesome.
Awesome is a strong word. Does it really recapture that feeling? That, like, visceral thrill you got watching the first ones in the theater?
Apparently so. It seems to tap back into that core appeal.
But is it just the same formula again? Is it just waiting for the next crazy death sequence, or is there something more driving it? Because, another rehash would get old fast.
And that's where this new gimmick or premise really comes into play. And it totally explains the title, Bloodlines.
Okay, so it's not just a random group anymore.
No, not at all. It shifts away from that classic setup. Random person has a vision, saves a few people, then death picks them off. This time, it's deeply rooted in family, generational fate.
Generational?
Yeah.
Wow, so like inherited doom.
Pretty much. In the older films, death felt kind of random, like it was just cleaning up an anomaly on its list.
Correcting the timeline.
Yeah. But here, introducing a bloodline, it makes death feel, I don't know, more strategic, more personal. It's not just bad luck hitting these people.
Oh, so it's systemic, like this whole family line is marked.
Exactly. The idea is that this whole lineage, going back decades, is paying the price for decisions someone made way back when. Maybe a morally questionable choice.
Like someone let others die to save themselves or something like that?
Something like that. A choice that somehow bound their descendants to death's itinerary.
Whoa. Okay, that is a big shift. That changes the stakes completely. It's not just about surviving the next few days. It's about this historical weight.
Right. And it allows for, like you said, new things, situations we haven't seen before in the franchise.
What kind of things? How does the family link change the dynamics?
Well, for starters, you can't just, cut ties with your friends and hope for the best. Your connection is genetic. It's inescapable in a different way.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
And it also gives them way more room to build actual drama. Remember the first movie with Devon Sawa?
Yeah, classic.
A lot of the tension wasn't just if he died, but how everyone saw him. Like he was crazy or dangerous, that psychological element.
Totally. Character investment is key. If you don't care, the spectacle feels empty. You need that emotional hook.
Exactly. And the word is Bloodlines does a really, really good job with this family story. You actually start to care about these people and whether they can break this this curse.
Which creates that weird conflict in you as an audience member, right?
Oh, totally. It's the core of Final Destination's appeal, isn't it? You're sitting there going, oh, God, I hope they make it like them.
But at the same time.
But at the same time, you're kind of leaning forward thinking, okay, how's this one going to happen? How are they going to get, obliterated?
Brushed and split apart, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange feeling.
It really is. So if they've nailed the characters and made us care, let's talk about the other side of that coin, the spectacle, the deaths.
Right. Did they deliver on the Rube Goldberg mayhem?
Oh, apparently, yes. Big time. The descriptions use words like, so badass. But more than just being cool, the execution sounds top-notch.
Meaning the effects.
Yeah. They're saying the mix of practical effects and CGI is really well done. It feels phenomenal and pretty seamless, which is crucial, right? That effects can just pull you right out.
Definitely. Especially with gore. You need that weight, that visceral quality. Avoids that cheap kind of plastic look you see sometimes.
Exactly. And scale seems important, too. You mentioned the prologues are always a big deal in these movies.
They set the tone. How's this one?
The word is one of the best prologues in the entire series. High praise. But it's not just the opening. There's talk about other major set pieces. Pure, white-knuckle suspense.
Give me an example.
Okay, get this. A sequence where people are dancing on top of a glass-covered tower.
Oh, no. Just
Yeah.
no. People on fragile glass in a Final Destination movie. That's instant dread.
Right. That image alone tells you they know exactly how to build tension, taking a seemingly normal situation and just twisting it.
Classic FD. And that scale, that kind of set piece, it points back to the production value, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema clearly didn't skimp. They put real money on the screen.
Which you can feel. It makes a difference compared to some recent horror that feels really contained, budget constrained.
Totally. This apparently looked like a real movie. Big scope, high production values, that allows the cinematography, the locations, and especially those complex death scenes to feel fully realized, not held back.
Okay. This sounded genuinely promising. But before we get to final thoughts, we have to talk about one specific element that's hitting fans right in the feels.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes. Tony Todd.
The man himself, William Bludworth. His return.
It's being described as a very bittersweet moment. And you can understand why, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just hearing that voice again. He's such an iconic part of the series. Candyman himself.
For fans who've been there since the beginning, seeing him back isn't just about the plot moving forward. It gives the film this unexpected heart. You don't always get that in a big gore movie.
Was it just like a quick wink, a cameo? Or did he actually get something to do?
No, it sounds much more substantial. Like his performance, the dialogue he has, the whole scene, it felt tailor-made.
Tailor-made how?
Like a tribute, not just to the character, Bludworth, and the lore, but almost like a tribute to Tony Todd himself. As an actor, his legacy in horror.
Wow. That adds a whole other layer. That's respectful. I like that.
Yeah, me too. It elevates things.
And speaking of lore and respect, it sounds like the film actually dug into some fan theories, too.
It did, yeah. Apparently, Bloodlines manages to answer a handful of questions that dedicated fans have been debating online for years.
Which they didn't have to do, right?
Not at all. They could have just made a fun Death Coaster movie. But it shows the writers were paying attention, that they cared about the mythology they were inheriting. It's a nice touch.
Definitely an appreciated extra mile. Okay, but here's the real shocker for me. The critical reception.
Right. It's kind of wild.
This franchise, critics have historically been awful to it. Just dismissive. Like they never really got the appeal, that mix of dark humor and suspense.
Totally. They usually pan them. But Bloodlines, it seems to be getting embraced, surprisingly.
Why do you think that is? Do they change that much?
Maybe it's that balance they struck. It seems like it still delivers the goods for the gore fans, the spectacle fans, but that new narrative engine, the whole family curse Bloodlines thing, maybe that added enough substance, enough fresh perspective to win over some skeptics?
Could be. A compelling story on top of the mayhem.
Yeah. And if this thing does well at the box office, which it looks like it might, maybe that encourages them to keep making FD films at this level of quality. This could be the blueprint moving forward.
Let's hope so. Okay, so summing this all up, what's a final word for you, the listener?
Well,
my take. If you are any kind of fan of this series, even casually, or if you just appreciate horror that feels big and genuinely thrilling on a big screen, You got to see this. You really do.
Yeah.
The word is, it just does not disappoint. It delivers that specific final destination feeling. Apparently, it leaves you with a gigantic geeky smile.
That's a pretty strong endorsement. And it sounds like that satisfaction is earned. But maybe we'll leave you with one last thing to chew on.
Ooh, okay. A provocative thought. Lay it on us.
So this whole new premise, right, the bloodline curse. If death is hunting down generations because of one decision made by an ancestor ages ago, what does that really imply about free will versus, predestination in this universe? It kind of suggests some fates aren't just unavoidable right now, but they're inherited, maybe even inescapable across time.
So it's not just about cheating death in the moment. It's about whether your whole lineage was doomed from the start.
Exactly. Something heavy to think about when the credits roll.
It definitely adds a fascinating layer. Well, this has been great. It sounds like Bloodlines is a real return to form, maybe even more.
It really does. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. It feels like a big win for horror fans.
Absolutely. And hey, if you don't want to miss our next video, subscribe to our channel and ring the bell next to it to be notified of our next video. And if you like today's program, like this video.
We'd really appreciate it. Thank you and goodbye.